Well, I can't spend every day underwater, and to be honest, for every dive, it's probably like 5 hours of editing. And one of the hardest parts of editing my underwater footage is the color grading, especially on those wide angle shots where I can't get the light to reach. But even with my macro shots, I like to do a little bit of color grading, and I'm using Premiere Pro, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So let's get into it.
Critter Hunter.
Alright, so I have my Premiere Pro open and my project, and I've already selected 3 little critter clips that I could use for this. This first one, shout out to Matthias Lebo. It's a robust ghost pipefish. I've slowed it down, done some speed ramping, and looks cool. Little robust. Next one, this little mushroom coral pipefish. You've probably seen this in a recent video. I think it's pretty good footage. Hard to get, that's for sure. They usually never hold still. But as you can see, it's a little blown out. It's a night dive. I probably used too much light. But I think I could help it. The third one, I got this cool little feathered sea star. It was a really rare color that I never see. It's kind of a gray and yellow. I really liked it. So there's not much going on in this clip, just this sea star, and you know, I think it'd be cool. And it's a little bit faded and stuff. I think I could help it with the color. So this robust, it's not bad color, to be honest. I always tell myself, well, it could be better, you know. So when I think I'm trying to be lazy, and I don't need color, I go and do it anyway, and I'm always happy with the little bit of results, even if it's just small. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go down here and to my project, and I'm gonna get a adjustment layer. And I like these adjustment layers for a lot of reasons. Some guys say I'm wasting my time, but I like the adjustment layers because I like my videos to have one sort of color theme. One, you know, kind of the ambience all be the same. So once I get one right, I can put it on all the clips if I want. But I'm not going to do that today because they're all different problems, different colors that I need to fix. But that's one reason that I do it. There's some other reasons as well, but you can edit right on the clip if you want, but I don't really like doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna put it here on my clip, and then we can start color grading. This is a good spot to reference. So I'm gonna go over here, open up this little effects panel, and as you can see, I already have Lumetri color open, and this really doesn't need a lot of work. Like I said, it's got perfect lighting, I think, so I don't really need to add the reds and get all complicated with it. I'll probably wait and do that on the next clip. So on this one, well, I'm going to show you how I do it, and you can set it as a preset once you have a perfect you know, adjustment layer, and then you could go and set it to, you can make your own LUT, or you can even buy LUTs, but I find that kind of hard because none of my clips are the same. So anyway, I like to start here with the temperature. I love my goal here is a dark background, real dark, and I want it to look like there's no water at all. So I need to lighten it up, take away all green, and just make it look like he's floating in air. So I like to lower this temperature quite a bit. As you can see, it's just a lot nicer, lower temperature kind of color. And if you want, I could go down here and hide what I just did. And you can see it's just a subtle difference. Just a little bit less blown out in the background. This is before, and after. So not much. Like I said, this is a really good clip already, color-wise. But just that little bit of difference, that little setting, it changed it a little bit. I'm gonna click on the purple, just one little thing, and see what it does. Obviously I don't want too much purple, but I hate green. See, this would be really green. This is pretty much nothing, and then look it right there. I'll go down here and turn it off, see what it looked like before. Yeah, it's just, this is before, a lot more brown and maybe blown out. I mean, compared to and this is after. It's just lighter and bluer and nice. So now I think it's pretty good temperature and everything like that. So I'm gonna leave the exposure, I think. I could test it out. You know, just 1 click, 2 clicks. It's okay. But like I said, it just depends on your taste. In my videos, I like it darker and ominous. So I'm gonna leave that at 0. And I love to play with contrast, blacks, and shadows the most, because I like mine dark. So I'm gonna pull up the contrast a little, see what it looks like. This is all the way down, this is all the way about like that. I think I'm gonna use quite a bit on this clip because you're not gonna see the difference. Then I'll go down here to blacks, and I'm gonna pull it down pretty good. As you can see, the background is getting darker, and I like that. It's pretty blue in this clip because it's nothing in the background, but it's darker. And then the shadows, there we go. See, it doesn't ruin the fish itself, but the background is kind of fading, and it's kind of highlighting the little fish like he's in a spotlight. If I want, if it's too blown out, I'll turn down the whites. Yeah, that actually looks good. If I go the other way, it's just too blown out. I think the highlight of this fish is his eye right here and his tail. So I don't want either of those to be blown out, faded, too dark, or anything. But I think, look at that, that just looks crisp and nice. So I think that's it. I could play with the highlights, but I'll probably not do anything. Actually, yeah. Maybe right there, just a tad bit up. So there you go. I think that one's pretty good. Let me show you what it looked like before. See that? Before and after. That just looks awesome. It looks natural with just perfect colors. Looks like he's not in water at all. And here's before. And like I said, before it looked like the picture was perfect, really. It didn't need change. But I did it anyway, and look how much better it looks. Even just the contrast around the fish, you can see more detail just right away. Before and after. So let's move on to this one. It's going to be a lot harder. As you can see, this isn't a perfect clip. It's not exactly focused even. But obviously, the highlight or the focus point should be his little face right here. I'll grab another adjustment layer. And to be honest, it's going to be pretty similar to the first one. I could probably use the first adjustment layer, but it might be a little different. This one's a little more blown out, not as good. So I'm going to go over here and lower the temperature first thing. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's a huge difference. Look, it looks like he's just floating in air, sitting on his little bubbles. Let me show you without. It's just blown out, yellow, just real high temperature. Yeah. I'm going to click a tad bit of purple tint. That's okay. See, here's green, it's just not good. But a little bit of purple, just to bring out some colors. Here's his red streak through his eye. That looks good. I'll go down here, look at the changes. Yeah, just lowering that temperature was great. So now, just like before, you know what, I might even check the exposure, because it's pretty exposed on this one. And yeah, it's not gonna do much. So I'll just do it later. I'm gonna play with the contrast right now. And yeah, made the darks a little darker and the lines. It helps when a clip's not exactly focused a little bit. And now the blacks as well. Same thing, it's making the background darker like I like, and then I'll do the shadows. I don't think it's making the fish worse, just the background darker, so that's good. Now I might even, let's see if I can lower the temperature even more. Yeah, a little bit, but then maybe I'll turn down the white. I'm gonna turn down the whites instead of the exposure. Still not great. Might just leave it, because the white is pretty much only the fish in this part, so I guess it's okay. Let's see. Before and after. Oh yeah, that is just night and day. So this little bit of color grading did awesome. There's not a lot of color in this thing. I guess I probably used a poor example. It's only white and the tiny little red right there that doesn't need help. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Alright, we'll move on. Let me see it before again. Yeah, before, real grainy. Not great. And after, there's the contrast, made it pop. So here's the third one. I'll put my adjustment layer. It's probably a lot like the first one, to be honest. It's probably a bad example, really. I'll just go here. Definitely lower the temperature, the contrast, and the darks will probably make these lines pop. So let's try that. There's the temperature. Not too much. Maybe right there. It's not bad already. A tad of color, purple tint. Here's some contrast. Yeah, look at when I turn the contrast all the way down, all of it details kind of fade. But when I turn it up, the black gets blacker. It's nice. Now I'll go make the black. Yeah. Can't tell much. Look, if I do it fast, you can tell the difference. But just subtle differences in the actual footage. Yeah, this one didn't need a lot of help, but look at the difference. That's just really good looking now. Alright, you know what? These clips were a little bit too easy, so I didn't have to use any advanced technique. I'm going to go get another clip where it's going to be really hard to edit, and I'll show you how to do that. So give me 1 second. Alright, now I've added another clip. Like I said, I'm not good at wide angle, so look at this clip. It's just flying over some staghorn. Honestly, I could have found a worse clip. This is not bad color, but I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to add my adjustment layer and get to a good spot. Then I'm going to come up here and go to effects, type in color, and right here, color balance. I'm going to drag that onto my adjustment layer. Then I'll go up here to effects, scroll down, and I got all these new options. And I'm going to play with the red, shadows, midtones, and highlights. So I guess I'll just start with shadow, and I want to turn it up. Yeah, just that little bit. I already have some color. Now the red midtones. Yeah, quite a bit more color. It looks like I have a light on now. And then the red highlights. A little too much, maybe right there. That looks really good. Let me show you before. Just all green, and after. It looks like it's lit up. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me check different parts of the clip. There's not much background, so it's all the same. Looks good. So, if it looks good, if that's all I have to do, sometimes I have to turn the red way up, turn the green down, maybe the blue down, you know, just play with this color balance and it will turn out okay. And now I'm still gonna go here, turn down the temperature. Look at there, looks like it's not even in the water. Maybe a little purple, but not much because it's already red. And then some contrast, all those dark areas in between the blacks, some shadows. Maybe turn up the white. How's that look? Is that looking okay? Let me see what it looks like before and after. Yeah, it looks quite good. Maybe a little blown, too much white. Let's do some adjusting. Overall, I think that looks good. There's some other ways you can change color if it's super bad, but especially if you're using GoPro, I highly recommend the color balance and changing mid-tone shadows and highlights in the red. Just adding red. If it's one of those green footages from too deep. Otherwise, don't bother. Just adjust them even if they look good. So there you have it, guys. Alright guys, so there's so many different ways to color grade, especially underwater footage that needs a lot of red. And I'm using Premiere Pro, but you could use Final Cut or lots of different editors. But this is just the way I do it. So I hope that helps you out. If you're using Premiere Pro, it's great. When you're using a GoPro underwater, you can edit that green, not great footage. And I hope it comes out better. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.